art before, but we do a lot of it in the studio. And here are just some examples of what you can actually do with fluid art. They're probably some of our more advanced classes, but today I'm going to show you what's called the bloom method. So I will run through our fluid art kit. Now this is available online to purchase if you don't have fluid art material at home. And what you're actually going to get in our kit is some shot glasses. Now these are for our paint. Obviously you need some mixing sticks, so you get enough of those. You get our base white paint. You are also going to get our pouring medium. You're going to get 2 canvases, so you get to do 2 of these. And the paint. So if you actually come to the studio, we do have a lot of paint that's available for you and a lot of colours. We can't obviously post everything out, so I've just chosen the most, the colours that are most frequently chosen at the studio, which are blues and turquoises, so people really love to do the ocean theme. So you're going to get all of those colours to be able to do the ocean theme. And that's basically it. So that's just the gift basket. So if you do order it, it does come with free delivery in the Illawarra. So get online and grab it if you like. Now, if you already have it at home and you're ready to start, I'm going to take you through everything. So I want you to grab an area and get a table, put a tablecloth down because it can get messy, pop your gloves on, get everything out of your pack and just lay it out. And the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to mix up our paints. So I'm going to pop this to the side and I'm going to grab the paint. So we've got a black, the blue, a brighter blue and the turquoise. Now you also are going to need some mixing sticks and your shot glasses to start with. So you want to have 4, 1 for each paint, just like that. And you also want to have 1 mixing stick for each colour. Okay, perfect. Also grab your pouring medium, and this is everything that we need to start the process. So with the bloom method, you don't actually need a lot of paint for it to look really good. So I'm going to show you how much paint we pour in and how much pouring medium we actually use. So any colour start with. Now we're going to put some paint in here. A little squeeze will do it, and that will be enough paint. So I'm not sure if you can see, it's not a lot of paint in there. That's all we need. And we do that for each colour. So we've got 1 colour. And we'll do it for this one. Just a little squeeze. You don't need a lot of paint. And this would easily do, if you put more paint and mix it up, it will easily do 2 canvases. Now black. And the last one is our blue. We'll just get him out. We're nearly at the end of this blue. Okay, perfect. All right, we've got our 4 colours. Now we're going to grab our pouring medium here. Now for this amount of paint, you probably only need to fill the shot glass halfway. So I will hold it up so you can see. So a small amount of paint, our pouring medium. That is enough of our pouring medium to begin with. And we'll do that for all of them. Okay. And you will still probably have about half a tub left, so we'll just keep that to the side in case we find that our paints are too thick and we need to add more. So grab a paddle pop stick and you're going to start mixing. Now I will mix in quite quickly, but you do need to make sure that you have scraped down all the sides and the colour is the same. So at the moment there's a bit of white on the edge. We don't want that, so we need to scrape down the sides and the bottom, making sure our pouring medium is all mixed in. Now I'm going to do it quicker than you should do it. You should spend more time mixing your colours in, but just for the purpose of this video, I am going to mix a little bit quicker. So you probably need to spend about 2 to 3 minutes on each colour, mixing it in properly. Now, once we've got all that white around the edges all mixed in, the next thing we're looking for is the consistency. So if I drop this off the paint, we need it to be running in a nice smooth line just like that. So I wouldn't be doing it any thicker than this. So that's perfect. If it's too thick, when you do this, it's not going to come off the stick. It's going to be quite gluggy, and you need to be careful with lumps, because that can happen if you haven't actually mixed in your colour properly. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's running nicely. Now what to do if it is too thick, you need to add more pouring medium. Now you've only got a shot glass full, so it's going to be really hard for you to add too much pouring medium. But look, if you can get it like that, that's perfect. So we'll quickly do our other colours. And I want you, as I said, to mix them a little bit longer than I am. Now the pouring medium we use looks like it dilutes the colour and it looks white, but it actually does dry clear. Alright, scrape down the sides. Now we'll check. So that's running quite nicely as well. So I'm really happy with that one. So this is a good time for you to maybe pause this video and get your colours mixed before you listen to the next step. So sometimes the black paint is quite thick paint, and you may notice that you might need a little bit more pouring medium. So I might add just a tad of pouring medium to it because it is a little bit thicker. So just a little bit. Excellent. Okay, mix it up. All right, that's running okay. And we'll do our last one. So that's too thick. So this is a really good example of one that needs more pouring medium. So it's not coming off that stick. That's okay, we have plenty, so we're just going to put a bit more in, mix it around, and we'll see if this is any better. So that's getting better, it's definitely starting to run now. I'll keep mixing, scraping down the sides, I've got no lumps. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that extra pouring medium. So I will leave that there. I'm going to, I'm going to move the pouring medium to the side because we won't need that for the moment. Oh, that's going to fall down. There we go. Okay. Now, we've done our colours, so we don't need to do any more with them for now, so we'll move them off to the side. Now we need to do our white base paint. So you all got a container full of white base paint. Now the paint we use isn't a normal acrylic paint, so it doesn't come in a tube like this. It's actually house paint, and it is a low sheen interior paint. Now it has to be a wall paint, it can't be a ceiling paint. If you do use a ceiling paint, it's going to crack when it dries. And we also need to mix it with our other mixing fluid to make sure that this doesn't crack. So we have tried several different brands. We find this one seems to work the best. If you want to know the brand it is, you can send us an email, or if you of course sign up to the rest of the course where we'll teach you all the other methods, you'll get a full list of everything that you need. So unscrew the lid here. Now this is where you are going to grab one of your cups, and this one cup, so this will do 2 canvases, okay? If you only want to do the 1 canvas, I recommend only filling your cup up to here and then a little bit of the pouring medium. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to show you how to do the 2 canvases. So let's pour in our paint. And you've got quite a lot of it there. So you can basically pour all your paint in. Okay, so it's all empty. Now open up your pouring medium and you want to pour all of that in. And you need to grab a paddle pop stick. So just scrape it out, make sure you're getting all of that. Okay, so we need to mix in our white paint and pouring medium. Now this will be a little bit harder because you can't see because it's all the same color, it's all white. So basically when you first start, you'll see that it's quite fluid on top and thick at the bottom. You need to mix it so it is the same consistency the entire way through. What I've noticed through the classes is if this isn't mixed in properly, when you pour it out, either it will crack because there's not enough pouring medium being put through it, or it will kind of, what's it called? It kind of peels back the paint a little bit and has a cloudy effect. And that is basically too much of the pouring medium not mixed into the paint properly. So this is a really, really important step. So you have to mix this quite well. Again, it will probably take you about 3 minutes to mix this much paint up, but this is plenty of paint to do the 2 canvases that we'll do today. And we will do 2, and I'll show you the difference in layering the colors in a different way. So mix this together really well. Make sure all that pouring medium has been mixed through. Again, this could be a good time for you to pause this and get your white paint mixed through properly. Mine's feeling pretty good. Now at home, if you're watching this, I probably want you to mix more than I have, but just for the purpose of the video, this will be fine. So I'm going to pop this to the side. Now we're going to get our dipping tray. So I'm going to grab our first dipping tray, which is here, and the canvas. So I want you to pop the canvas on top of the tray, just like this. And what we're going to do is pour the white paint. Now we only want to use half of this because the other half is going to be for the second canvas. So we're going to pour it on and make like a pillow. So pour it directly in the middle and just go around, and it's going to make a little pillow. Check how much, I'll put a bit more on. Okay, that's plenty. Now we don't need this anymore, so we're going to put it to the side. Now we need to layer our colors. The last color that we're going to layer is black, so keep that to the side, but we're going to layer the other ones. Now what I've noticed sometimes when people do this, the color you start with seems to be the most prominent. So perhaps you prefer the lighter blue or the darker blue or turquoise, put that down first. So I'm just going to start with this blue. Now, you can squeeze these. So what I recommend is squeezing these. So I'll try and move it a bit closer. And you just want to pour enough, probably about 20-cent piece. And you're pouring it round like that. Now you don't need to pour all of that paint out. That will be plenty of paint for what we're actually doing today. I'm probably going to layer the turquoise in the middle. I'll just give it another stir. Again, do the same thing directly on top, about a 20-cent piece, just like that. And then I'll do the light blue. Okay, and the black is last. Now, the black's going to be our cell activator, and the black, as you can see, will define the cells, and that's why we're using black as the very last color. You don't need as much black as the other colors. I'd recommend probably a 10-cent piece or even 5-cent. So just pop it on just like that. Now you'll notice when I'm pouring the color, I'm quite close to the canvas and the paint. That's so the colors don't penetrate through that white base layer. If they do, and I have seen it before in our classes, they stick to the canvas. And then what happens when we go to move the paint, the color's stuck to the bottom and the white paint goes over top and it sort of ruins it. So that's not what we want. So I'm going to stand up to do this. So what we've got is basically a little target in the middle of our white paint. Now the next part is really important. This is where we have to get the black paint over the colors to make our patterns. There's a few ways of doing this, but for people that have never done it before, the easiest way to explain it is to blow it out like a flower, and I'm going to demonstrate. So you want to start directly in the middle and blow out. Get down quite low to the side, and just like that. And then turn this around. All right, so I've got quite a lot of black there in the middle, so I might just do one more out this way. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. So once you've done that, you need to let the white paint come back under. If you don't, and say you blow it too hard, you do run the risk of that color paint sticking to your canvas. And you also don't want that color paint to go off the white. You want it to stay here. All right, so we're just gonna leave it a minute so you can see some really nice cells already forming there, which is exactly what we wanted. Now, I have put a lot of black paint on this, so maybe the second one I'll do it a little bit different so you can see the different results you can get. But for now, I'm quite happy with this. So it looks like the white paint's come straight back under, so I'm pretty happy. So we're going to start moving it now. Now you want to make sure you're getting the excess paint in the tray, not on the table. And the best way to do this is to do it quite slow, and it doesn't really matter where you start because we've blown it all out to be pretty even. So I might even just start in this corner and just do it really slowly. You don't have to do it quick. So you can see the paint's moving really nicely. And you really just want to do it so the color goes over the side, like that. And then you can bring it back into the middle. Okay, we might do this side. And just do it, there we go, and bring it back down. I'll move it this way so you can see. Okay, that's touched the side there, and now we're going to bring it down here. Just slowly do it. Okay. I might bring it back. So I'm pretty happy with that one at the moment. I just see there's a lot of black, but that's okay. Now let's see, what have we got here? All right, I might just tip it up so you can see this way. All right, so I've got some really nice cells and lacing happening there. So I might even leave it like that. I think that looks pretty good. So we'll pop that down. Now, drying time will take about 2 days, sometimes 3 depending on the weather. So you want to leave it like this, and you want to leave it dry like this. You can of course take this off, and you can even use the little shot glasses, turn them upside down and just pop that directly on them if you don't want to leave it on the tray. But I tend to just put the sides down a little bit, and I'll leave that away, and that will dry, and that will dry perfectly exactly like that. If you move it around too much, it's not going to dry like that. The paint's going to move and you're going to lose all your patterns. So this is an example of one of them. Now I'm going to do another one, and I probably won't do as much of black paint, and I might do it in a little bit of a different order. So let's put this one to the side over here, and we are going to do our second one. So I'll just grab everything we need. Of course, the canvas. Now this does get very addictive, and you can easily do many of these in one day if you've got enough material. Okay. So we've got our second canvas. Now it doesn't matter, I can get as much paint on this board as I want, because the paint's going to be that thick when we put it over there. It's not going to matter anyway. Right, are you ready for our second one? So we get the rest of our white paint. I'll just give it a little bit of a mix. Pour it directly in the middle. Use your paddle pop stick to get all of it out. Okay. Now let's do our pouring. So I might start with the green first. So I'm probably going to use the rest of that colour that's there. So this one I'm going to do, I might do it with a bit of white negative space, so I can show you the difference. And I might just pour this one quickly over top. And we'll do the last blue, just like that. Now black, I'm only going to do a little bit of the black this time. So I might even use my paddle pop stick and put it on just like that. And just like that. Okay, now I'm going to put that to the side. So to get negative space in your canvas can sometimes look really nice. It just depends on the way that you blow out this little target. So instead of blowing it out like a flower, you want to be a little bit more strategic, so you've got some white around there. So I'm going to start in the middle. So there's one. There's two. Look, I still have quite a lot of black, even though I only use a little bit, so it's quite a strong pigment, this black. And I might leave that. All right, we'll see what patterns we got from that. All right, so my colours come back under. So let's just start tilting. And this time I'm only probably going to tilt till the white touches it. Some of the colour might go over, but that's okay. I might stand up. Oh, there we go. Bring it back. Okay, we'll touch that one. All right, so I'm probably going to end up with a lot of white space here, but that's okay. And perhaps I won't even end up with much at all. So you can stop it there if you want, and you will just have that white spacing, which sometimes can look quite nice. So I will just move this back down. And I've also got white spacing there too. So I'll leave that one like that. And I'll show you the two. So I basically have done sort of two pairs. So that's what they're looking like. Now, if you don't want as much black, don't even use black. You don't have to use black in it. You can, for your very top color, use the dark blue. However, I've tried it and I feel like you just don't get the same result, but give it a go. So this is one example. Again, if you don't want as much black, just put even less black than I put on there. And if you want more white space, just don't use as much color. You don't actually need to use a lot of color for this technique. You can just use a little bit of color. But that's basically the first technique that you would learn from us. It's quite fun, it's very addictive. You do have quite a lot of paint here, so you can easily do more canvases. And if you have any questions, just email us or text and let us know, and we're happy to answer them. Other than that, as I said, drying time is about 2 days they'll take to dry. You can just leave them like that and they'll dry. And to make them nice and shiny, so as you can see, this one is nice and shiny. I'll just take this off. So this has had a clear coat of resin put on it, which is why it looks like that. And this one has had a varnish on it, and that one actually hasn't had anything, but it's a special pouring medium that we use, which is different to this one, which you will learn if you want to take this a little bit further and do more advanced pours. We will actually teach you how to do that in the course. So everything is online. As I said, please send us an email, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.